Every year, at the time of Arba'een, the land of the Tigris and Euphrates hosts one of the biggest human gatherings on earth. A gathering like no other, unrivaled in sheer magnitude. Millions upon millions make the often arduous journey to Iraq and begin walking towards the city of Karbala to pay their allegiance to a man who 14 centuries ago was martyred in the most tragic way known to mankind. Women, men, children, the aged and the feeble, forming a seemingly endless river, walking for days, accepting a multitude of hardships, with the utmost pleasure to express their love for Hussein, peace be upon him. Relying completely on personal contribution, this unique event would not be possible without the constant dedication of thousands of volunteers who work tirelessly to host and serve the pilgrims. This journey shares the experience of a pilgrim and what it is like to be part of this massive ocean of people. A drop in the ocean. In the daylight, we could now see what was covered up by the darkness of the night, the magical backdrop of the palm trees next to canals from the Euphrates. For a moment, you are drawn into reflecting over the beauty of history. Indeed, this was Mesopotamia, the land where the human civilization started, the cradle of mankind. Abu Ahmad was explaining to us about continuous efforts made to keep their mokib running every year. Due to his position in the tribe, he is the one in charge of the mokib. Few minutes later, we reached the main highway. But before we could continue with our walk, we asked if it is possible to see their mokib and the day-to-day activities of running it. This piece of land, located on a highway between Karbala and Najaf, was bought by the tribe, whereby they erected permanent structure that serves as guest house. About 100 persons, including the brothers, cousins and relatives, work in multiple shifts to serve the guests for 24 hours daily during Arba'een. This section is designated to men for resting. Though most of the previous night visitors had already left, there were a few still sleeping. Most of them had walked throughout the night and arrived early in the morning. This mokib provided them with resting facilities. This storage was full of food supplies 15 days ago, and now it's reaching to the point of depletion. However, the staff is confident that this will be enough till the day of Arba'een. Although it's still in the early hours of the day, but those who work at the mokib have already started the preparation to cook the lunch for the guests.
ونوصله يم الزائرين حتى يجلسون هم بالقاعات وبالخيام واحنا نقدم لهم الطعام. واهلا وسهلا والله محييكم وكل الاهلا بكم ونشوفكم ان شاء الله بلقاءات اخرى ان شاء الله في كل المكانات وعلى واكثر على طريق الحسين سائرين ان شاء الله واهلا وسهلا يا مرحبا
في امان الله يا الله يا الله شكرا.
Sadly, it was time to bid farewell to these sincere people. It had been a great pleasure to spend time with them and to get a better understanding of how much effort is needed to run a mokib. 350 poles to go, and if we want to make it tonight for Karbala, we need to proceed faster.
While I was walking, I saw this little kid streaming between people and running as quickly as he can. He looks like a very grown up, but I'm gonna go and speak to him. Ya Allah, assalamu alaikum. احوال شما خوب هستید؟ من حسن عباسم. اسم شما؟ حسین؟ اهل کجایی؟ قم هستید؟ تنهایی؟
The love for Imam Hussein knows no boundaries of age, and it is on this path where a young boy feels safe to walk alone in one of the most war-torn countries of the world.
آقا چی اینجا؟
جان؟
چیه؟
واکس اونجا هم ثبت جهانی مراسم عاشورا ان شاءالله سازمان ملل.
و اینجا؟
واکسی.
برای کش؟
واکس.
دمپایی؟
فرق نمیکنه تمیز میکنم.
ولی خودت دمپایی که نداری؟
اب نداره. ما پاوره نیم.
اهل کجایی؟
مشهد.
مشهد.
هر کی باری سنگین تره باید بیشتر تلاش کنه. ما بار ما خیلی سنگین تره. کار ما خیلی خراب تره.
Again, my eyes cannot believe what I'm seeing. These people coming from Mashhad have made an oath to clean and polish shoes of the visitors. This task might not be of any significance back home, but here they feel so proud and honored. Sitting on the ground, they work as fast as possible to finish the task. Next to them, there is another group busy with fixing torn bags by stitching them. We are getting closer and closer to Karbala. People are walking with the same enthusiasm that they had on the first day. The same is for the volunteers and their bestowings. Like a kind mother, they want to give the best of what comforts people without any expectation. Again, I'm astonished by the concept of Karbala and how it unites all the hearts, and how in an afflicted country like Iraq, it spreads equality and humanity amongst everyone.
So we've been out on day 3, and since then we've been walking for about 4 or 5 hours. It's about Zohar Azan now, and we will stop to perform our Salah.
We reach the outskirts of Karbala. People are arriving after a few days of walk. The scene is gradually changing, and there are much less structured mokibs as it was along the way. Soon we are back on the road. It's getting narrower, and people have to share the path with the vehicles. Few hours are left to the end of the journey. For many visitors, just seeing the golden dome of the shrine would be the milestone of their walk. The tiredness of 80 kilometers of walk can be seen on the bodies, but the faces are full of hope and determination. By watching them, you could see a beautiful rainbow of people from different races and nationalities who walked peacefully together to form this universal event.
سلام علیکم. احوال شما؟ خوب هستی؟ از کجا آمدی؟
از افغانستان.
افغانستان؟
بله.
بعد از کجا شروع کردید راهپیمایی؟ پیاده روی؟
پیاده روی از این بری مهران تا نزدیک نجف.
الان چند سالتونه؟ چند سال؟ بله.
72 ساله.
72 سالی؟
72 ساله.
خسته نشدی؟
I felt so shy and humble in front of this old man with his family who have walked for about 300 kilometers from the border of Iran to Karbala. Considering their long journey from Afghanistan, my walk next to theirs is incomparable.
You'd known your pain to millions is shown. Millions witness your day, so hear their cries, hear their cries, hear their cries, hear their cries.
After Arba'een walk, you change. Being in this walk, you feel by all your senses the gravity that inspires people to walk tens of kilometers with accepting hardships.
This is the sunset of day 3, and finally we have reached the holy city of Karbala. Yes, I'm tired. I've been walking for 3 days. But whenever I used to get tired, I used to look at all of these people, the enthusiasm that they had to reach the shrine of Abu Abdullah Hussein would give me spirit, would make my hopes reach high up into the skies. And thus, it has made me reach here in front of the shrine of Abu Fadl al-Abbas. And truly, after this 3-day of walk, it has changed my concept of love, of affection, of sacred feeling of enthusiasm. May Allah bless all of these people here.
بخادم الحسين الشاعر كرار حسين الكربلائي. يا ملك احساسنا يا امير انفاسنا حسب الله ذبحون نحورنا نصيح من قبورنا وحسين وحسين بعد وحسين للابد باقي العزاء كربلاء.
This city, and specifically the shrine area, is a target of suicide bomb attacks. For this very reason, thousands of security forces with their efforts have managed to secure this event. Entering the main security zone, some visitors feel they have reached, and they pay their salutations from this point. But many continue to move closer and closer. Streets become more crowded, and you can hardly move.
تنتظر أرواحنا نلتقي بمصباحنا تنتظر
The streets of Karbala are dominated by uniformed groups marching in procession towards the shrine. This is the traditional way of commemorating the eve of Arba'een, and us as individual participants have to find our way around them. The land I am standing on at this moment is where the event of Karbala took place, where my master Imam Hussein, the beloved grandson of the Prophet, stood alone and called out for help, standing against the corruption and oppression which was taking place in the name of Islam. By his bloody martyrdom, the most tragic story in the history took place. His voice still echoes, reaches out to generation after generation. In our time, though as if he still lives amongst us and calling us, we are responding to his call.
السلام على خليل الله ونجيبه السلام على صفي الله وابن صفيه السلام على الحسين المظلوم الشهيد.
Few more steps, and I will be standing in the presence of my master. Yes, eyes do not see him. However, he can be seen by every heart of this ocean of people. A drop in the ocean.
He whose name sleeps in my heart, and there it is. It's apart my eyes' windows to the beauty of your name. 7 letters that I've loved formed to become my beloved. With my heartbeat, part of my blood you became.